Hello, hello, amazing audience, ambitious women. So, first of all, I want to celebrate my podcast and your amazing commitment to your growth, to your development, and to following my podcast because I received a message from Spotify that we've hit 500 downloads, which is amazing. And of course, kudos to me for showing up and committing to this podcast, which means producing valuable content and this amazing episodes with awesome guests every week. And today we're still doing our series with my co-magician, Nicki, and she's here today. And the series are Discovering Your Magic through the metaphysical tools. And today we will be diving into a little bit deeper into tarot card reading. And I know this is Nikki's favorite. So I'm excited to learn more. Hello,
Absolutely.
Nikki.
Hello, and thank you for everybody who's been tuning in. Last time we talked in general about how the tarot is constructed, how we use it, thinking about it with the Fool's Journey and the four elements. I wanted to take some time today to talk about tarot as it's understood societally and has people typically expect to use tarot. The typical expectation is it's going to divine and tell you your future. So I have a lot of people who come to me and they're really nervous and they're apprehensive because they don't necessarily want to know their future and they're scared that I'm going to tell them something they don't want to hear that's negative. So for me today, I wanted to talk about tarot as a tool for empowerment, as a tool to really understand what is the energy around you, where are you headed, and how can you best navigate it. So, of course, tarot has been used as a tool for divination, which means to predict one's future, because it can connect to the energetic patterns that you're creating, and then you will be manifesting that reality in your life. Now, if you take a step back and you use it as an empowerment tool like I do, you can use it to make decisions. So I am making a decision about, do I want to live in Texas or do I want to live in Florida? Do I want to pursue being a therapist, or do I want to pursue perhaps going into a career in HR? There's a lot of different decisions we make that it's very hard for us to tune into what is really my energy around that and what would be an expected outcome if I put my energy into it. So decision making is critical as a container for tarot. So I'll give an example for me. When I was making a decision about where I wanted to put my energy in my career, I had to decide between a couple different things. And it was, do I become a therapist? Do I have a career in HR? Do I be do I pursue the entrepreneurial track? And as I looked at all of those different decisions, the tarot was telling me, you could be an entrepreneur, you definitely could be a therapist, but as an HR professional, that it was interesting. The tarot told me you would have the economic foundation, you would be able to use your methodical ways, and you would be able to have financial abundance. And that's what I was looking for at that time when I was making that decision. Now, I have very different energetic consequences of my career decisions, and I'm using tarot all the time to kind of help me navigate where do I want to put my energy. So it's really fun with tarot when you document and you look at your decisions, you document the cards, and then you determine what actually happened. You can start to look back at your conversation and your connection with tarot and really understand, sorry guys, really understand how the tarot communicates with you. So when I look back through these previous readings and I see how it was trying to communicate, I understand exactly how I ended up where I am based upon the energy and the outcome it was providing. So beautiful for decision making. also for relationships. So one of the biggest formats of tarot readings that I do is looking at relationships. And I look at person A, person B, the relationship, and what action person A should do to elevate the relationship to its highest timeline of fulfillment. So you can actually see what is energetically going on at this moment in time in this relationship and what is the energy they create together. But where the empowerment comes in is I'm not trying to predict the future of this relationship. What I'm trying to do is enable person A to take an action that is in alignment with having a deep, fulfilling, meaningful relationship with this individual that they are typically in a romantic partnership with, but it can be any sort of partnership. And how do we work with that energy of the relationship and that action that's being indicated to move it forward so they can take more power back in the relationship? So that is just, oh my gosh, the sparks that fly when I see those aha moments in a tarot reading with the relationship energy and how do they both move forward. If I have person A and B with me, we'll talk about what is both of their actions. But if I just am working with person A, then it's really how do they empower themselves. And then, which we're going to dive into a little bit more today, I use tarot to inform and provide data points for business decisions. So, as a serial entrepreneur, I have a lot of different things that I do. And I have art projects, I have relationship consulting, I have creative careers and business consulting. And I'm always sitting here thinking, where do I put my energy? Where do I invest my time in content marketing or developing a new formula and structure for success in each one of those areas? And it's interesting, the tarot always allows me to connect to how I am deeply feeling in that unconsciousness of the energy around the business decision. And then if I follow that energy, what's the outcome? So Jules and I today, we're going to take a moment to look through this decision and pull some cards on what would be the energy, what would be the outcome. And once we look at the energy and the outcome, it'll help me steer towards, okay, this is what my subconscious and my energetic body is telling me right now. Now, how do I embody that decision? How do I move forward with it and trust it and know that I don't have to think about it more because I've already done the mental exercise? I need to feel it and I need to embody it and align with it in integrity. So when I take action, I'm not going against myself. So that is how I kind of wanted to start a conversation today. But as I do that, Jules, what comes up for you that you're like, I would like to use tarot in this way or that way, and perhaps that wasn't discussed?
Hmm. Well, I think decision making is one of the most popular ones.
Mhm, mhm,
And I feel like that tarot as a tool is a bridge to help us connect to some level of trusting,
mhm,
because most of the clients I work with, and myself in the past especially, we have a great tendency to spend a lot of time in our mind, and also in the mind that is more subconscious as well, because that's where all of our triggers live. That's where all the ways we've been doing things and being things
mhm.
live, and we continue. So essentially, if we let that only energetic channel be there and present there primarily, the way I see us going about our future is simply recreating predictable future.
Exactly.
So, and I love to operate and also invite my clients into the world that exists beyond predictability, which is the next level is possibility, what is possible. And that's a lot of times we can see in others. It's those people that we compare ourselves with and we feel jealous, which is an indication that is possible for us if we start looking at like that. And then the next level, which is like Deepak Chopra likes to say, infinite possibilities, or the world of potentiality.
Mhm.
So that's where I believe that our mind alone cannot take us. However, it is a good start. And also, again, the mind of the subconscious mind. Again, that's where we operate most of our time, probably about 95% according to science,
Mhm.
which again, we are recreating predictable future. And I see
Yeah.
tarot perhaps as a tool to
Yes.
like create that bridge
Hmm.
to perhaps give us that different state of affairs, so to speak, state of energy, state of thinking, state of like offering this word in whatever the cards you're going to pull in a moment. And if we know there is way more beyond predictability, then we kind of start moving and transitioning and shifting through different dimensions of what is possible in life because we are multidimensional. However, most of us identify ourselves with a human part of ourselves and we get stuck in limitations. So
Hmm.
that's why we're doing the metaphysical tools, because essentially they are the ones that have the keys to start creating that opening. Oh, I'm not just this human, like suffering in what's here and now today and feeling stuck.
Exactly.
Oh, there is way more. And what we will be exploring today through my somatic edition on embodiment, like Nicki mentioned, is we're going to be bringing other energetic channels that most of us don't access or afraid to access, or perhaps don't even know they're there and exist and what to do with them.
Hmm.
So that's why we're looking at tarot reading today in this multidimensional
Hmm.
view. So, and as
Absolutely.
we go through other energetic channels that will be targeting, and I will guide Nikki through, that will be, yes, mind is there. And we're going to touch on that a little bit because mind is always there to interpret, and it's important to create a language around it. So, and then we'll go into posture, and we also go into imagination. So, and all of this is still a little bit, not a little bit, but subconscious levels.
Mm.
Then we're going to get in touch with our emotions and feelings as we create safety around it while we're staying in the body. So, in emotions and feelings, this is the opportunity for our unconscious mind to play a role.
Yes. Yes.
And depending on where we are and how we are today, so we might learn
Mm.
something deep inside of you that hasn't been quite looked at that might give us a breakthrough as
Yeah.
we use tarot as a tool, as we use our inner wisdom, as
Mm.
we use my guidance, your guidance as a reader, my guidance as a somatic practitioner. And as we look at the whole,
Hmm.
that is more empowering.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as you're speaking, I have been so in the mind my whole life. And I believe that's why I was drawn to tarot, and that there's a mental component to it. But truly, when your hands and your eyes are looking at the cards, there's this inner knowing and this direction you're getting for pulling certain cards. So it's beautiful because it's mental, but it's very sensory as well as you're playing with the cards and you're identifying them. So it does bridge those worlds of senses and intellect. And then when you see the cards, what's so powerful about the cards is that the imagery is
Mhm.
very, very emotionally evoking. So if you weren't able to really understand your emotions around a decision, once you see the cards, you will have an emotional evocation that you have to kind of process against and work with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going
And
to
if
pull.
I may
Yeah, go
comment
ahead.
on something else that you mentioned earlier, first of
Mhm.
all, homework. So when you listen to this podcast, notice how many times you said the word energy.
Mhm.
And yes, everything is energy. That's why no wonder subconsciously you probably didn't realize because you weren't quite like listening to yourself as attentively as I was, right? But I would say you probably said it at least 10 or 12 times. And that's what I wrote here, energy. Because what is emotion is energy in motion. So that's why emotion is everything. And what we're going to do or not going to do is going to be emotional process, which is an energetic process. And also the question that you proposed, you said, where do I put my energy? Which is again, how emotionally you want to be involved in the process. And that's what we're going to be diving into to really, for you, go inside of you and do that work that I guide you through to see what is that energy like for you in you.
Mhm.
And then yes, like the tarot card, like the way you described it, is definitely a gateway to this somatic, energetic channel that I will be guiding you through because you already experienced the sense, the touch, the image, the feel that it evoked. So, yeah, it's a beautiful tool. I love it. So, we're already kind of like halfway there as you pull that card.
So I'm asking first
Mhm.
for the energy and outcome of the art business and what would be the energy and the resulting outcome if I put more focus there. Okay. And then I'm asking for the energy and the outcome if I focus more on relationship coaching, the energy and the outcome. So I'm pulling 2 cards, energy and outcome for relationships. And then I have finally the business coaching I do for creative careers, the energy and the outcome. Okay. So this is interesting. When I pull for art, I get the energy is the Tower card, and the outcome is this 5 of Cups. So the art is quite interesting in that the Tower card is if you put more energy into this, it really creates kind of a shake in the foundation of how you structure your days, how you structure your time. There's a big shake. If I'm to go into art and go into it more holistically, that it gives a lot more time, I really have to look at the rebuilding of my foundation. And the outcome is this 5 of Cups, and there's actually some emotional disappointment there. There is a feeling of, I thought it would be this, it's not that. I'm disappointed, and I need to get over my emotional attachment to the success that I thought it would bring. Now, when I look at relationship coaching, I have the energy here of the 3 of Wands, which is beautiful planning, strategy, action oriented. It's like with relationship coaching, there is already an impetus of change, of beautiful activation and fire and electricity. And the outcome of relationship coaching is actually the Ace of Pentacles, a new revenue stream, a new way to give and receive value, a new way to feel fulfilled through contribution, through really having a deep impact in this world and feeling like you are aligned with your purpose. That's relationship coaching. Now, when I go to business coaching and creative careers coaching, the energy there is fascinating. I get the devil card. So it's almost like with business and creative careers coaching, I am a little beholden to my ego and to my need for more certainty, my need for material goods, my need for feeling like I am following the path of least resistance to economic success. Interesting. And the outcome is the Page of Wands. Just an incredible amount of energy surge is needed and required to get the results that you want. So as a reader, when I look at these different possibilities, it is extremely clear that the cards are telling me you already have a lot of effort and energy and success that you have planned and proved in the relationship coaching sphere. And the outcome of doing relationship coaching and leaning more into that is a beautiful give and take of your energy and the energy you're receiving from your clients. So, it's interesting the energy of business coaching or the energy of art. These are both very just like attached to different foundational things that aren't necessarily serving me. And honestly, more energy and less outcome than I would really want. So I think for embodiment, we are going to really focus on this relationship coaching. And just to give you a better idea, Jules, of what I mean is I have been doing more and more synastry astrology charts with entrepreneurial couples or couples who are trying to find their heart of their relationship once again. And I look at their individual energies, how they come together. And then I do a composite energetic check-in as to how they exist as a couple and how to up level that. I've been being called to it more and more, and the cards now are saying, yes, please put more energy into this, even though at the start of our conversation today, I didn't even mention that to you that much. So it's fascinating it came up in these cards today.
Okay, that's beautiful. Well, just like you said, these cards are energetically picking up our subconscious and unconscious mind. So that's why they're already creating that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see those cards again that we want to
Yes, yes,
focus
yes.
on today.
So we have the energy that came up for me was the Three of Wands. This is the element of fire. This is activation and really accelerating success. That's the energy of the relationship coaching. Now, the outcome, if I put additional energetic resources towards this, is the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is new economic opportunity. It is prosperity. It is that beautiful giving and taking of, I would say, material abundance between who you are serving and what they are energetically giving back to you. It is a beautiful union of that kind of give and take of energy. That is the outcome. And the energy is really very fiery activation. And I would say for me, this is telling me to use my planning, my strategy, and my go get 'em emotional energy within this space.
All right, awesome. Okay, well, what I saw in those cards, just from my view, lots of purple.
Mm-hmm.
Purple is a kind of third eye chakra, so which
Mm.
is the forehead. As we go through energetic channels, we'll see what shows up there. And it's basically the energy of divine, like
Mhm.
that third eye, the intuition. So
Yeah.
I guess intuitively you were going for that card as
Hmm.
well. And both of those cards, they were reflecting purple, just different shades of purple.
They are.
And it's interesting how the card that was referring to the outcomes had a hand. It
Yes.
also was holding this big circle, big ball, which
And
was
it's a pentacle.
pentacle, yeah, but
Mhm.
essentially the shape of it is a
Yes.
circle. It's round, and then
Hmm.
there's a star in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's a very potent image. It's like it's given to you as you extend your hand.
Exactly. Exactly.
And interestingly enough, maybe that you're also artistic, which you do things quite a bit with hands.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
maybe there is also something there. Yeah. And
Yeah.
in the other card, so if you're watching us on YouTube, the other card, she's just holding a tree, right?
Those are wands.
Ah,
So
wands. Yes.
yeah, they're
Okay.
wands and they represent the fire element. So
Okay.
she's holding on to one wand. She has two behind her.
Mhm.
This is the ultimate planning and strategizing your future and how you want to create it.
Mhm.
So this energy is very much telling me, hey girl, you can plan and create anything you want. You've already started the ball rolling on this. And the outcome is receive the ball, receive the light, receive the energy, and you will have that beautiful marriage of energy exchange, right? Because that's what I'm looking for. Ultimately, when I look for my purpose in life, when I look for my purpose in the contributing element of my life, because my purpose isn't just to contribute. We have so many purposes. But when I look at what will be the smoothest and what will be the best purpose for me, these cards indicate that this is part of my smooth contribution that is in most alignment with my energy. So somatically, I
Mhm.
feel like I really want to feel into trusting my intuition, trusting and having faith that if I go on this path deeper, there are people in need of it. And I want to feel great love, great openness, and clarity within my own relationship and to continue to develop that so I can give that to other people I serve.
Yes, that's beautiful. So now we're gonna go ahead and try to take you through your subconscious and conscious and conscious relationship as we explore all of it in energetic channels. Okay, are we ready?
Love it. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I invite you to close your eyes and just make yourself comfortable. So if you are standing, just feel your feet on the ground. Are you standing?
Yes.
Cool. I would love for you to like pick up one foot and just press it down on the ground firmly and feel that connection. And then do the other. And then press through both feet and just really get grounded. And then take a few breaths. So the way I would love for you to breathe is as you inhale through your nose, inhale a little bit more, pause there, and then exhale fully and completely. See if you can do that 2 more times and try to go for that little extra inhalation. That might feel challenging. And one more. And I invite you to see right now in your mind, in your imagination, that you are a relationship coach. You are following this path. What are you seeing right now?
There was a beautiful reading that I had in New York City with Dr. Honeybrew, a Turkish coffee ground reader. And I keep seeing myself with my arms held high, greeting and having excitement and love for couples who are coming to me. And I'm giving them a hug as both of them are coming to me at a retreat. And they're so excited to deepen their relationship and get back to them and feel love again. And I am holding that space and like a hug of both of them.
Can you stay right there, exactly in that posture? Yeah, and keep your eyes closed if that's okay. And I want you to feel yourself in this posture. What energy are you experiencing?
I'm feeling the energy of my arms are strong enough, and I am like embodied enough that I can hold both of them, and there's no weakness. There's just like, I got this. We can do this together.
I've got this. Okay. And what's the energy of the person there? How do you feel her energy?
They could almost cry. They're like very vulnerable and they don't want to cry, but they almost could cry that somebody's actually like welcoming them and holding them up.
And you can relax your arms, but keep your head where it is. Well, what just happened? Your head movement shifted. So while you were hugging, your third eye, since your eyes are closed, it was kind of looking to your left.
Mm.
If you bring that awareness there, what would that be all about? Just maybe even invite yourself to look to your left with eyes closed or open. Your head was up, not down. But right now it's down. Maybe there is something there.
I think it's looking to the past of my parents and
Hmm.
wanting to do the same thing for them as I'm doing for this couple.
Hmm. And what was that you wanted to do for them?
Hold love and just a beautiful space for both of them to be happy.
Hmm. And if you did that for your parents, what do you think they would respond? Or what would be their response like?
Oh, they're very appreciative. They're very
What
happy and they want me. They even want more of the energy.
what would you want to hear from them exactly? A phrase, a word?
I feel really peaceful when you're around and I feel like I got this.
So you would want them to say, I feel peaceful
Mm-hmm.
and you've got this.
That they've got this.
They-
They're empowered.
Okay. So how do you experience this message in your body?
I experience it as like spaciousness. Spaciousness, not like there's no confusion. It's just open-hearted. It's very like after you take a deep breath, there's just a spacious, open, receiving, and I know it's not a feeling, but non-judgment, like total giving of oneself and not judging anything.
Mhm. Yeah, and if we stay a little bit more in the sensations of it, so you felt space, you felt open, and then your mind was interpreting that as there is no confusion, so there is clarity.
Mhm.
There is also non-judgment as your mind was interpreting that.
Mhm.
There was an energy of receiving.
Mhm.
So what does this receiving feel like in your body? And maybe where in particularly in your body you feel like you are open to receive.
The interesting thing is, as I was opening to receive, I felt kind of a constriction in my throat going down to the center of my chest. And I felt myself wanting to talk, wanting to control. I could feel a tightness through wanting to control through speech, but the initial feeling is total spaciousness. So it's like I'm trying to balance total spaciousness with the control that my throat chakra is trying to take over.
That's a beautiful awareness. Can we express gratitude to your mind for interpreting that? We'll just take a moment to simply be present for that sensation of constriction, just like you said, with no judgment. But now you're applying that for yourself. I invite you just to breathe into your throat and create some space in your mind just to be open. But be aware of the sensations of your breath as it's flowing through your throat. At this moment, I invite you to just be with that energetic center of that sensation in your throat as much as you can. If there is a sense of emotion that comes up, then you're welcome to share.
It's interesting because it moves from the throat quite quickly to more the heart chakra and a sadness in the heart chakra.
Okay, emotion of sadness.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay to be present for that emotion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just feel. And if you're okay to share how you feel that emotion of sadness in your heart chakra. Does it come in the form of a color, shape?
It looks like wood. It looks like a wooden stake. It's almost like a wooden stake in the where the ribs come together. I can't remember what that's called, the sacral or whatever it is. Sacrum.
Xiphoid process connected.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
xiphoid. A little
Yeah.
higher than that, but yeah, right around there.
Mhm.
And it feels like a little bit of a wooden, like I'm trying, the wood is taking in the energy of other people and it's trying to protect the heart, but it is also creating a blockage in its protection because it shouldn't exist. The wood, I don't want the wood there, but it's there.
So can you just maybe mentally to yourself, allow yourself to receive this wooden sensation? And does it have a color?
Yeah, it's like a really light birch wood.
And does it have a certain shape within your heart?
Yeah, it's like a wooden stake, like a railroad tie, but it's wood.
And I would love for you to connect with this one a little bit deeper, maybe. Does this sensation have a certain age? Perhaps a certain age of your own development?
13. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not new. It reminds you of yourself when you were 13.
Mm-hmm.
Can we welcome you at your 13 years old?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what is she reminding you of here right now through this sensation?
You can't control other people's emotions.
Was there a particular incident that she experienced at 13 that led her to believe?
Mm. Tension between parents.
And what was she making it mean about herself when she was observing tension between her parents?
She's not working hard enough. to alleviate that.
Mm, yeah, she's not working hard enough to alleviate that. If you're connecting with her energetically, perhaps through that sensation of wooden stake, what is she feeling when she is thinking that she's not working hard to alleviate that?
Ooh, really anxious.
Where is it showing up? Is it still in the heart or has it moved? Where is it taking space?
It's in the stomach.
Mm. Are you okay to shift your energy and attention into your stomach?
Yeah.
And how does this sensation of anxiousness showing up there? Is it taking space? Is it stuck in one part? Does it have a color?
Oh.
Is it
It's
moving?
taking space. It needs to be digested. I can feel the wooden stake kind of like coming down through it's emulsifying because it's
Mhm,
almost like it went through the esophagus and then
mhm,
it's emulsifying in the stomach and the powerful chemicals in the stomach are almost allowing it to be digested.
mhm. Is it a really free movement towards digesting, or is it perhaps your mind inviting to get rid of it by offering to digest?
It feels like both.
Okay.
Feels like it feels like my mind is intentionalizing it to move, but
Yeah.
as it moves, it also feels slipperier, like it's the body is allowing it to just move.
Okay, so that's good to distinguish between mind and the body and see if you can allow yourself to stay a little bit more present in the body without the mind directing what to do with it. See if you can take a moment to breathe into your stomach. And if that feels like still emulsifying sensation, just breathe in whatever that feels like to you right now. And just notice if that sensation is familiar or is it new? Does it still belong to that 13-year-old Nicki?
It feels familiar. Feels like it still belongs to the 13-year-old. Yeah, still belongs to them, her.
And what is this story here in the stomach? Is it still the same story as we learned, or is it a different version of it, or what's there?
There's fear there. There's fear of what's going to happen if I don't have control.
Mhm. Can you take a big breath in as you breathe with that sensation of control? How much of that sensation of controlling takes space within you?
75%.
Okay, so where we started, you felt a lot of space. And then as you stay present, we're allowing now your unconscious mind to come into play. So you're doing beautiful work, being aware and allowing space within the space to connect with the fear that right now takes 75% of the space within the space.
Mm-hmm.
Just breathe through it. And as you're breathing and allowing the space within the space, imagine that fear. So now we are accessing the creative part of your mind that allows your imagination to take place. And fear also uses the part of the brain that is creative and imaginative. Except it comes without what's the worst could happen case scenario imagination, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if your brain is accessing your 13-year-old to receive that imagination from fear, or is your sensation leading you to your current self? So
I
which
feel like
one?
there's an opening, like
Mm-hmm.
there's a, I'm older. I know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good feeling of, I always figure it out.
Mm-hmm. And
But
if
it's
uh-huh.
only I am responsible for my emotions and nobody else's.
Mm-hmm. And if we stay with this one, I'm the only one responsible for my emotions. How is it landing in your body?
Feels good. I'm just still processing a little stomach stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let's move now to the heart, where you felt some tension
Mhm.
before. What are we feeling there?
Good. The heart feels good. It moves. The heart feels open. The heart feels like very smooth and relaxed.
And I don't know if you noticed, but you also, in your posture, your throat is open right now as well. Can you
Hmm.
feel that?
Hmm.
Can you feel the connection from your heart to the throat?
Oh yeah,
Why do you think it might be important for you in your body to feel that connection?
because my heart is leading my communication rather than my guttural fear leading my communication.
All right. And when you feel fear in your body, where does that sensation go?
Hmm. It goes into the the yellow, the solar plexus, the stomach.
So yeah, goes into stomach. And as you noticed, or maybe didn't, but your chin came down towards the chest and the throat was closed.
Hmm.
And the fear was reminding you that you might be out of control. You might not be figuring out. And when you have that sensation that you might be out of control, you might not be figuring out, you might not be working hard to elevate, reduce that what you notice from your parents, what happens? What's the story that the mind still carries from that fear? And you suddenly turned your head to your right. Is there something there for you, perhaps?
There's books.
Hmm.
There's books. There's learning. There's a world of abundance of insight beyond the container I experience relationships in from 13.
Mhm.
There's contemplation and reflection and books.
Mhm. So contemplation is within you,
Hmm.
outside of you, and that is
Contemplation's within.
what is it?
Contemplations within.
Yes, contemplation within. So now from here and your connected self that feels the energy move within the space within you, from the stomach to the heart, from the heart to the throat, and back to the heart and the stomach, all of that as you were beautifully holding space for all of it. However, I see there is a little bit of energy change in your face. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
What's that energy telling you right now in your face?
I don't have to take it so seriously. Like,
Mm.
it's not that serious. It's really funny. I don't know, that comes up.
Mm-hmm. And if you embody this state, how would you embody the state of, you don't have to take this seriously in your body? Like, what would your posture gonna be like? What would your facial expression gonna be like? Yeah.
My face just smiles and I think about just funny stuff and like Saturday Night Live and like just
Mm.
I think of all this like laughter and fun and like it's not that serious. Like I just get almost like giggles.
Yeah. And now I invite you to bring your awareness to your hands. As you were talking, your hands were participating.
Mm,
Feel the energy in your hands.
mm.
How are
Thank
you
you.
experiencing it? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to hold that big circle with a big star that the card that was presented
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah, I'm ready to hold it and make it my own. And I I really just love laughter and I want to hold it lightly and like with a big a smile but almost a laugh because it's not that serious.
And would you like to experience this here right now in your body and in your posture? Can you
Hmm.
shape in your body of how it's gonna feel when you are laughing, when you're feeling it in your body? What is it gonna actually look like? If I am standing and I'm just this fly on the wall, I don't hear you, I don't feel you, but I see your posture and I know she's having fun.
It's like, hmm, it's like this.
Beautiful. So
Mm.
yes, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see Nikki's delightful face and smile and that sense of peace, sense
Mhm.
of rest, sense of what is it like sensing?
There's that sculpture called The Thinker.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thinker, but it's super intense. I'm holding my body a little bit, my upper arm, and I have my chin on my fist of my right arm. So I'm kind of like in this loving embrace of myself while I'm contemplating with like a really easy smile how serious we take the world as adults and how I can bring levity and happiness and peace in that seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And what I see in this posture, and let me know if it resonates with you, there is that sense of enigma, like of what to expect or what to come.
Mhm.
And I'm ready with this peace and ease, and that
Mhm.
sense of feeling intrigued by what
Mhm.
is possible and what you can create with this energy that
Mhm.
has that feminine masculine aspect. No wonder you chose that thinker posture, but with a lot of feminine
Mhm.
spaciousness around it.
Yeah, I literally with one hand am holding and hugging myself, and with the other am curious and thinking.
I definitely see that. And just with our last point here, if you revisit the energy of your 13-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and then from this thinker position, from this intriguing enigma, from this Nikki who feels like, yeah, it's I can figure it out.
Mm.
What would you offer to her when she was 13?
Mm.
What does she want to hear from you?
She wants to hear that you will be given the experiences in life that allow you to understand how you direct your own freedom and independence and sovereignty within yourself to have fun, to laugh, and to not take it so seriously. You will have those experiences that bring that out. And as long as you laugh and play and have fun along the way, it's not going to be that rough of a ride. It's just an adventure.
Mhm. And is she receiving it?
She is. Yeah. She likes adventures. She wants to travel, and this is just another grand traveling adventure.
So she needed that permission
Mm-hmm.
to create her own adventure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. She loves reading those books where you get to choose your own adventure. And I just showed her this is just a book you're reading and you get to choose your adventure. But no matter what path you take, just laugh and have fun with it because it really isn't that big of a deal.
And perhaps this time
Mhm.
she's actually in the position not to read the book, but to write her own
Mhm.
adventure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And with these words in mind and her receiving it, what would you give her from that body expression that she perhaps desires or desired when she was 13? What is it that she wanted to feel from you?
Hmm.
Was
She
it a hug?
wants
Was it
to
a kiss?
feel, hmm. She just wants to feel at ease and peace. She just wants to feel like it's not that serious, like a very loose grip of control. She wants to just let go of the control.
Yeah. And I would love for you to stay in that hand gestures that you just had. So, which is, yes, open hands. And then take a moment just to feel the space between your hands where your both hands are open and both palms are ready for whatever they're ready. Just feel that space within the space that is also ready to receive more space. And then close your hands and place them to your heart center. And just come back to that breath that we started. Inhale and inhale a little bit more. And pause until you're ready to exhale deeply. And take two more breaths like that and just notice what changed in your breathing.
What changed in my breathing is a feeling of totally letting go of like a dance. Like my fingers are just moving like it's just all the dance, and there's like this magic within the breath, and to feel into the dance of it.
Mhm. Was it easy for you to inhale that one extra inhale?
No, it was a little hard.
Mm. Okay. Well, thank you for
Mhm.
experiencing it and embodying this card. What was
Absolutely.
your biggest surprise about this experience?
I think my biggest surprise was feeling that kind of wooden stake in my chest that was a protective mechanism, but it also is such a feeling of the need to control that as I allow it to kind of just work through my body, I actually can start to let go of control. And when I let go of that, there's just this ease and like laughing that I feel throughout my body. Like I feel like my natural state is laughter. And
Mhm.
that just came to me in a bigger way that I didn't expect.
Mhm. Yes. Then, yes, I invite you to continue embodying that state of energy
Mm,
that feels good. And like you said, that's your natural state. So
mm,
that you start creating more and more from this state of being because that state of being is yours and it does
yes.
not belong or it's not attached to any outcomes or results or your client's results.
Mm,
It is yours to start with, it is yours to embrace, it is yours to embody, and it is yours to show up from.
mm-hmm.
And
Lovely.
yeah, you have that choice.
And I think it really does feel this pentacle card where they are allowing for whatever is and receiving that, but also holding it loosely and like it's not that heavy. So that card, the traditional meaning of it is a little different than what I'm explaining, but through the imagery, it's just a perfect receiving lightly and with trust that you're being led.
Well, and you demonstrated that very wonderfully in your body because the way I see it, and the only way I see it, is just being with your emotions and riding that wave of emotions because that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, emotions, just like that, came as your wooden stake. That was the fear. And it's a normal reaction as you're expanding to something new.
Mm-hmm.
More you create those moments of somatic experience and being in your body and holding space within the space because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Because you are a bigger container that holds the space for that space of the fear, how much
Mm-hmm.
space it takes in your body at that moment. And as you do that, you become unstoppable.
I love
That's
it.
why I like to say that magic is always within.
It is. It
And you
is.
access that magic when you stayed completely open for whatever came instead of resisting it, because that control wants to control the fear, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that is a big lesson in my life. And
Yeah.
you know, even when you look to tarot for guidance and empowerment, it's just so much more of a tool to direct rather than a tool to look for certainty in the divination of your future. So, if anything, I really want people to understand that they can use it directionally rather than from their craving of certainty that a lot of folks come to it with.
Hmm. Yes, which is really unachievable goal
Hmm.
because life is uncertain, but more and more we stay in our magic and also more and more we embrace that we have a code for expansion. We have
Hmm.
a code for dealing with uncertainty.
Oh, yeah.
Then we basically, our job is just to stay in the magic,
Hmm.
navigate, not control.
Exactly. Navigate. I love that.
Yes. Well,
Wonderful.
thank you for letting me guide you to your magic. And I am proud of your decision making. And now we're just gonna watch you blossom and bloom
I
with
love it.
what you have to offer to the relationships.
Wonderful.
Thank
Wonderful. Thank you for guiding me.